Hello and welcome to my living room, an angle you don't often see on here. So I have a confession to make. I have a bit of a pushchair addiction. I love prams and pushchairs, I just do. I always have done. I think it's because I've always loved like babies and young children and looking after them. So even before I became a foster carer, I used to try out lots of prams. I used to love going to mother care and pushing them around. I know it might seem a bit odd, but hey, there are worse things to be addicted to, let's be honest. But what that means is that I have tried over the years a lot of pushchairs. And the pushchair that I'm going to be reviewing today is the Egg from Baby Style. And the reason I wanted to do this video in particular is because I actually think the Egg is a really good pram/travel system, and there's not many reviews on it online. I think it's a bit more obscure, like to get hold of. And I also don't think it's available in America. I think that makes a big difference too. I just felt it deserves a bit more credit than it gets, really. And also they have just released the Egg 2, which I believe is supposed to be coming in right now, but we've got big delays at our borders and ports in the UK, so probably it's taking a bit of extra time. But there are still some of the Egg prams available, and some of them have got discounts on them. So I thought this video could be quite useful if any of you are considering buying an Egg, or are looking to buy a pram now, or you need one very soon and you might not be able to wait for the Egg 2 and it's still useful to have an Egg review, or you're looking at buying a pushchair second hand because of money concerns or environmental concerns, or a combination of both. So I thought it would be great to get round to doing this review today. Let me just move my chair out the way. Apologies first of all for the mess in the background. My little baby Christmas tree is about as festive as I feel like getting this year. But I will move back to try and get all of me and the pushchair in focus, and this is the biggest area of my flat, so I had no other option. Hopefully I don't need to stoop too much. Anyway, so this is the Egg pram with the carry cot unit on. You can buy the Egg with just the seat unit, and you can now use it from newborn if you buy a newborn insert, but I think it's really nice with the carry cot, and if you buy the carry cot and the seat unit, you can do something really clever with it, which I'll show you a little bit later on. But this is the carry cot, so you use this from around 0 to 6 months. Personally, I find from around between 4 to 6 months, I tend to start any travel pushchair system, what have you, that has a carry cot and a seat unit. I tend to start switching between the carry cot and the seat unit depending on if I think at that point the child's most likely to sleep, or if they're going to be awake and want to look out a bit more, how strong their head control is, etc, etc. Being a foster carer, it tends to be, a constant cycle of children and babies coming through, so they get used a lot. But this is what it looks like with the carry cot on, and I just think the Egg is a really stylish pushchair. It is a luxury pushchair, it's not a cheap one. I think with the carry cot unit and the seat unit, and if you have like a changing bag as well, which I do have with this set. I bought this set, by the way, second hand, and it's in the Jurassic black with the black frame on it. If you get it all together brand new though, it is around £1,000, so it is not a cheap pushchair at all, but it is a luxury one, and it feels very well made, really good quality. There's a leatherette handlebar. It is leatherette, it's not real leather, so if you're vegan, that's something you don't need to worry about. The carry cot has a hood which adjusts by pressing 2 buttons on the side. You press it in to push it down, and it also zips on, so there's a zip here which you can just unzip to lift up, put your baby in. I've also seem to have the rain cover in here. There's a separate rain cover for the carry cot and for the seat unit. The seat unit has quite a clever place to store the rain cover too, I'll show you that as well. But inside it's got this lovely like padded mattress, and the lining as well can be unzipped to be thrown in the washing machine, which I thought was really nice too. To put the hood up again, you just press the buttons in once again, and there's like a half height here if you want them to have a bit more visibility, and then press again and it's all the way up, and if you just push back until it clicks, then it will stay in place. I do find these 2 button things a little bit fiddly. It's the only thing on the Egg I think that I probably dislike, is that button system. But the carry cot itself actually is not too heavy, so you can remove it. There's 2 buttons on the sides, one here and one on the other side, which you just press and you lift it up, and it feels nice and light. You can, if you get a little bit more practice at it, hold it with one hand, press this button, lift it up a little bit, press this side, lift it up a little bit, and then it will come off this way. And that is the carry cot unit. So as you can see, it's just got this really nice detail on it, and I love the sort of roundedness of it. It really lives up to its name of Egg, which is what I particularly like about it. You can also unzip the canopy in order to wash it, which I do like about this one too. Having a look just at this part of the pushchair, which is the chassis, I'll show you how it folds in a minute. It does have a bit of mud on it today because I cleaned the wheels, because obviously the floor is carpet and I didn't want to have any mud on it, so I gave them a bit of a wash earlier. It pushes so nicely, honestly. it's kind of hard to demonstrate on the carpet, but the wheels, they do move really easily, and it's got really like good suspension on it too. I took this on a walk recently, hence it's so muddy, and we went to a park, and I was on like the main pathway to begin with, and then realised it was getting dark quite quickly and had quite a way to walk, and was sort of striding with it over the grass, and it was uneven, like different level surfaces, and I was honest, I was not being gentle with it at all, and I was so impressed by how this handled. It really did. It handled much rougher terrain than I thought, because the wheels at the front are not super big. If you're not used to pushchairs, the bigger the wheels, the better they are at handling rougher terrain. If you've got small wheels on a pushchair, it's only going to really be good for a city or like an urban lifestyle. You need bigger pushchairs to handle rougher surfaces. And these ones are, you know, pretty decent, but they're not the biggest. It's not an all-terrain pushchair, and it wouldn't handle like gravel or sand or anything really rough. But it went through mud, it went on different level surfaces, and it handled way better than I thought it would, so I was really impressed with that. The tyres have some special technology, I believe it's called True Ride, and basically it means that they are meant to simulate an air tyre, but they don't puncture. And I have to say, this is actually the second egg pushchair that I've owned, and the last one was much older and I'd had much more use out of it. And the tyres were still almost immaculate, even after like 4 years of use. So you are very unlikely to wear out your tyres on this pushchair. So they are really, really clever technology. I do really like that. So to make the pushchair, to put the brake on the pushchair, there's a button here. You just press down and that like stops it, and then you press again and it's good to go. It's flip-flop friendly, so you don't have to flip it up and down. It's literally just touch down again. You can lock the front wheels. The only time you really ever want to do this is if you're going over like rougher terrain, like I said before, like cobblestones or anything. If the wheels are kind of shaking, you just want to press this button. Oh, that one. And then that will lock them into place, and they won't turn. So that just makes it much easier if you're dealing with tougher terrain, or hopefully you can actually see. Click again, and off you go. All moving lovely. To adjust the handlebar, you basically take this rotating part on the handle, twist it away from you, and pull up. And it's got about 5 different settings, and the highest one is really high. Like, I'm 5'2", I'm very petite, and you can see how high this goes. This is going to be absolutely fine for anybody who's sort of in the 6 foot area. Twist down again. To fold the chassis is really easy. You take the handlebar and you twist it towards you this time. That then goes down to the floor. You reach inside and there's a handle which you just pick up, and then I usually just turn the wheels like this, give it a good thump in, and then if you make sure the wheels are facing that way, it will stand on its own as well. And this is actually really compact. And it's not very heavy either, which is great. So you can just use the handlebar to pick it up and put it in the car. I have a Kia Ceed, which is, it's kind of like I think a small family car they call it. It's kind of like the same size as a Ford Focus. This fits in the boot really easily. So if you have a smaller car than me as well, you'll easily get it in there, which is another really great thing about the Egg. It's not super light, but it's sturdy, and that's what you want this sort of pushchair to be. When you then need to unfold the pushchair, all you do is there's a little latch at the back here where it's closed together. You just undo that, it goes forwards. There's a latch on the side here which you just undo and lift up, and there you go. It's really easy. Next I'm going to put on the seat unit, which looks like this, still in keeping with the sort of egg shape. Has this really soft fleece lining on the inside, which I absolutely love, and it also comes with this apron as well, which is gorgeous. So I'm going to do it parent facing first of all. So when you move from the carry cot into the seat unit, you'll almost always have the babies facing you, because it's just one step less than facing outwards. The canopy has a pretty decent amount that it comes out to. It doesn't have any extra bit that you can pull out, but I have to say I actually find this pretty good. Particularly when it's sitting up, it's got a really good coverage to it. No peekaboo window on the back, which is like a flap that you can lift up and see in, but I think they have added that to the Egg too now, like a mesh window, so that's something to just sort of take into account. The way that you sit up and recline the seat is through a lever on the back here. You basically just lift this up and it goes upwards, so it has 3 positions: really upright like this, slightly more reclined like this, and then completely laying flat, which is great, I think, if you've got a little one that falls asleep, yeah, they can still lie all the way back. And all 3 of those positions are available if it's parent facing or world facing too. If I just take the apron off here, you can see that they have a very clever little pocket at the base of the pushchair, which I store the rain cover in. So it's just tucked away in here. Being in England, we need the rain cover at all times. I literally went out on a walk once with a little one in here, and it was a 10-minute walk. I left, it was lovely and sunny and blue skies. On the way back, 10 minutes later, pouring with rain. I didn't actually remember I had the rain cover with me at the time, and I just had the hood up and the apron on, and I was completely soaked. Little one was absolutely fine. So just so you're aware, the Jurassic print, actually, I think they're reasonably waterproof, so that was good. But yeah, this little pocket I think is absolutely great. You don't have to store the rain cover in here. You could put like your phone or your wallet if you wanted to have that really easily accessible, but I think it is very clever that they have that little storage area in there. And this really soft seat liner that I've already shown you is also reversible. It's got this quilted side here, so maybe in the summer when it's a bit warmer, you don't want the fleece on them so much, you can turn over this way. Bumper bar, this one actually has a tiny bit of damage on, but you can remove it either completely or just from one side, and it swivels up and out the way like that, so you can get children in and out really easily, and then just pops over here, and you can like put a toy or something on it, but it's also what the apron hooks over. To change the seat unit from parent facing to world facing, there's two buttons exactly like the carry cot. You press on both sides and lift it up, and then you just twist it around like so, and there you go. Now it is world facing. You can't fold the pushchair with the seat unit attached to the chassis. You have to take it off and then fold the chassis separately like I showed you earlier. But because of the fact this is a really strong, sturdy pushchair that's built to last, that's probably a good thing, because it would be really heavy if you did have to take it as, if you tried to pick it up as one piece. It's not, like, it weighs, this pushchair. Not super light, but in two pieces it's more than manageable. And part of the reason that it's built so strongly is because it's built to last you through multiple children. And on that note, let me show you what clever thing this pushchair does. So here I have the Tandem adapters, which allow you to convert the egg pushchair from a single pushchair to a double pushchair using just the seat and the carry cot unit that you originally bought. These cost £50 new. I've seen them second hand for a bit less as well. And this is how you use them. Just clip on the Tandem adapters on either side, like so. Then you put your seat unit back on the top one. Then you take the carry cot, just pop the hood down to begin with, and you pop this one into here. Then you can lift that up, and now you have a Tandem pushchair, just with two Tandem adapters. How awesome is that? You haven't had to buy another seat or anything. You're good to go just with the seats you bought at the beginning, which I think is really awesome and really makes it future-proof with this pushchair, and why I think so many people are willing to spend the money to invest in one of these pushchairs to begin with, because it means you now have your seating arrangement sorted for the first 6 months of this little one's life. And if this one, say, is like 2.5, by the time your youngest child gets to around 6 months and they need to move into the seat unit, you can either go ahead and buy a tandem seat for the bottom if you have your children a bit closer together and they both still need to be in it, so that is another option. Or you can then take the tandem adapters away, move your youngest child into this seat, and just use a buggy board, the egg cell on the back. So it's really good for those of you who are planning to have kids in the future and you think they might be reasonably close together and overlap and needing a double pushchair, but you might not need a whole double pushchair for that long. I should just make the point, however, though, that you can't reverse these seats around. You can't have the carry cot on the top and the seat on the bottom. They do have to be this way around for weight distribution. And also this seat cannot be used on the bottom. You have to buy a specific tandem seat for that, which doesn't have this little like bulgy bit down here. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. So it does have to be this, they have to face in this direction, both the carry cot and the seat, and be in this configuration. However, you can buy car seat adapters as well, and you can have, say, 2 car seats, one on the bottom, one on the bottom, one on the top, or 2 carry cots, one on the bottom, one on the top, and then 2 seats with one here and a tandem seat down here. So it does work for twins as well if you are looking at it for a double from the beginning. Personally, I'd probably recommend it more for the families that are having one to begin with and maybe having another one later on, but some people do use it for twins. The other thing I want to show you with this pushchair is it has a reasonable amount of basket space under here. I mean, it's not huge, but you can easily get a shop in this. But Egg have come up with another clever solution. So they also make their own changing bags, and I have one here, which is the one that comes with the Jurassic. So this is the Egg changing bag that I have. It actually came with the set when I bought it. Personally, I would prefer to have one of their backpack versions that they do. They do have a number of them, but this one came with it, so I've just been using it ever since. But what Egg do is they have this very clever system. So with this particular Jurassic one, they have these little hooks kind of on the sides here. So when you put your bag on, it doesn't, you know, slide down the chassis, which is clever. But then there's a little metal loop in here, and they've got some hooks in the insides of the pushchair chassis. And you can just clip your bag on like that. And then you have really easy access to your bag right here. And it doesn't take up any of the shopping space underneath. So you can just go along with easy access to all your stuff, and the seat can still, you know, sort of move up and down as well, which is really clever. So I really like that feature. The harness straps have 3 different heights to which they can go. What you do is you basically just take off this padding, you can unbuckle the seat harness strap from here, take it out of the lining, and you basically just thread it through the back and up through one of these holes, and then put it back through again, clip it back into there, and then you just pop the strap pad back on top. So pretty easy to adjust. So I think that is everything about the Egg pram. It does also have the option to buy car seat adapters as well, so you can just put them in the frame here and put your car seat on. I'm not going to bother showing you that though, because I don't have a car seat to hand that fits this. But it will fit with Maxi Cozy, Egg's own car seat, and a Cybex. So if you wanted to get like a Cloud Z, for example, that one will also, that's the car seat that reclines flat, best for newborn. That's compatible with this too, so that's just another thing to consider. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful. I just love watching pushchair reviews. I don't know why, but I just do. So I thought finally time for me to get around to doing my own one. But yeah, if you are considering getting an Egg, all I can say is from my personal experience of using it with multiple kids, I love it. I think it's brilliant. I love the design. It's so cleverly thought out. And I'm really keen to see like what changes they bring out with the Egg 2, which is slightly bigger. I do like how compact this one is, but I think it'll be interesting to see how the bigger Egg fares compared to it. You never know, Egg might see this video and be willing to send me one to review. I'd love that. If you are watching Egg, would be more than happy to review one for you. Girl can dream. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If I have forgotten anything and you were watching this and you are interested in the Egg, do feel free to leave me a comment down below and I'll try and get back to you. But I think I did manage to cover all the important bits. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Do please subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye everyone.